people of the internet. So I wanted to speak on this. Of course, this comes from Abba and Preach. Shout out to Abba and Preach. I'm a huge fan of their content as well, too. Been watching them for some time. They're speaking in regards to a clip that I did see. I think I originally saw it on Twitter, but of course, it looks like they're reacting to it as well, too. Of course, they're also a reaction channel. So I guess this is an informal reaction to it, a collaborative attempt. But they titled it, of course, "He Refuses to Be Alone with Women for Safety." And of course, they were referring to, I think Ninja is his name. He's a gaming streamer. And he was explaining why he is afraid to be alone with women in any capacity. Of course, he's a married man, of course. But let's watch this reaction to a reaction. Again, shout out to Aber and Preach. Of course, I'll go ahead and link I'll leave a link to the full video down in the description below. But let's watch this together, man. I didn't watch all of it. I wanted to kind of go over it together as well, too. Let's take a look here.
In light of all the stuff that's been happening with streamers and the like, Ninja, who was at one point the biggest streamer in the world, came out with a statement about what he thinks about all these people being caught with underage people or women in different, bad situations, et cetera, et cetera. So let's listen, okay?
I mean, you just, like, I don't know what to tell you. It's not hard. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't do that. I go out of my way to make sure that I am never even alone in another room with a woman, ever in any moment. Like even like my PR person. Like it doesn't matter who it is. I don't care if they work for me, whatever, bro. There is someone else in that room at all times. If we're alone, I leave instantly. That's on like fidelity, right? As for anything else, dude, it just I don't DM anyone, bro. I DM my boys. Like I DM like guys in the community. No, there's no private messages going on with any girls. If there are, it's like someone like Chica or like, just like people in the space. And then I let my wife know. And then as for like people that I know, bro, if I don't know you, I am not DMing you. I don't want to get to know you, dude. I don't want to find out you're only 17. Like,
so this clip went viral.
I feel you.
I don't want to get to know you.
Right.
I don't want to get to know
right there
you.
real quick. Let me pause right there real quick. So, of course, folks, you heard it there. Just a little more context. Of course, this is a famous streamer, Ninja. He's a gaming streamer, super famous. Of course, you heard there he's married as well, too. But you heard the context. They were speaking in terms of all these recent allegations that we've been hearing of late. I can think of Kai Cenat. I can think of so many situations. Again, it seems like it's been a recurring event of people, whether it's Mr. Beast and his comrades, whether it's Kai Cenat and his comrades. We're hearing about people, of stature, of some level of fame or whatever case it is, fame or notoriety, being intertwined with underage girls. Maybe whether they were aware of them, whether they were, consciously aware that they were underage or maybe found out later on. We're seeing a lot of situations where people are, getting some backlash because of their involvement with women that are not of age. So, of course, you saw in that clip, you had Ninja who was saying, who's a married man, successful, of course, millionaire, whatever the case is, who said, for his own safety, man, I don't even want to be in the same room as women. Unprofessionally. Of course, he named a few people that I'm assuming are part of his team. He said even his PR person or his agent, whatever the case is, he doesn't feel comfortable being in a room alone, unsupervised, because of the backlash or the narratives of women in some situations making up stories that are not true. And of course, in some situations, situations are indeed true, whatever the cases. So you have women nowadays that are quick to come up with a narrative, oh, he, touched me inappropriately, or he made advances toward me. And there's been situations where it has been true and it has not been true. We have situations where, people were under the impression that they were talking to somebody of age, and then later to find out she lied to me and told me, she was 19, 20, all along she was 16, 17, whatever the case is. And I kind of feel him, to be completely honest. Like, for his own safety, again, if you're a man that's a millionaire who has a lot to lose, I kind of completely understand why you would be extra cautious as to make sure that you're not in the lineup of any of that type of controversy, because it is scary out here, man. We've seen a lot of situations where women have ruined the careers of a lot of successful men. Am I saying every single man in that situation has always been innocent? No. Of course, we do know there are such things as creeps. We do know that people are predatory towards, younger, underage children. Of course, again, as I always say, I've never heard the word pedophile so much in the past, at the top of this, in this year, as I've heard in my life. I think that's I don't want to always call it a trend, but it definitely seems like something that's been a polarizing topic here on the internet. in terms of people just being caught with extremely underage people. So Ninja says, hey, man, I don't even want to be caught in the same room. I don't even want to be alone with women. I don't even want to, if I don't know her, I don't slide in DMs. I don't even want to get to know you. And I kind of feel him. And you saw we all kind of just chuckled at him. Because as a man, of course, we understand that we have a lot to lose in those situations. We understand that in most situations, our society has made it to the point that they'll believe the woman first without any proof, without any, footage or whatever the case is, without any details. If a woman comes out and says, he did this to me, they run with that narrative. And you have to go through hell and high water to alleviate yourself or prove that that indeed was not true, if it wasn't true. So it is scary, again, especially, there's numerous stories of this, man. A lot of the situations, man, you think, oh, man, that'll never happen to me, man. But these stories are a reminder to all of us, especially us men, that these things are possible. And maybe you should consider, putting measures of safety, safety nets in between you and your interactions, just because you don't ever want to have to go through the stress that comes with these things. Because a lot of situations we've seen it before, the damage is already done. Even if a woman comes out and says, oh, man, he did this to me, and it's proven that he did not do anything to this person, sometimes the reputation, the headline alone is strong enough to kill a man's career, everything that he's built, everything that he's worked for. So even me, to be completely honest, I think about these things a lot. Now, granted, I spend a lot of time on my own anyway, so it'll be rather difficult, to say that, oh, he did anything, whatever the case is, and of course, how I conduct myself as well, too. Of course, I know a lot of people online, they lead with a certain type of image, whatever the case is, and sometimes in some circumstances, people live a completely different life. People sometimes live a completely different lives than the ones that they portray online. So I do get that. So there is situations, I think about all of these things, man. I can think of, there's endless stories of people that we've heard, whether they're athletes, whether they're entertainers, whatever the case is, where they've been falsely accused and their reputation's ruined. Their brand deal's gone. Their this, that, and the other gone because of a lie that a woman came up with. And I'll say this as well, too, man. And I don't know how many more examples it's going to take, but there needs to be strong penalties for that, man. Women are never, it baffles me in situations where we never hear the consequence that the woman receives when it's found out that the man is indeed innocent. It's just like, okay, sorry, got it wrong, I guess. But nah, sometimes you blatantly lied. You blatantly lied and you never hear the consequence. Okay, because you lied, people will then try to, I think men in those situations will maybe try to file a claim for, defamation of character. They'll try to take them to court, whatever the case is. But sometimes the damage it's already been done. Why is that? Why don't we hold these women accountable, that the ones that have lied, not the ones that have came out and said something and then we find out that it's been true, right? Because I think it even makes it worse for the women that do go through situations, right? So you'll come across situations where we might not start believing women when we should. When a woman might say, hey, man, I went through this, and we'll be like, oh, nah, you ain't go through that, because we've seen it so many times where women like you lie, or women in those situations lie. And say that, oh, he was alone with me, he did this to me, he touched me here, he made advancements to me here, and we found out those situations are lies. Why don't we hold those women accountable? Why don't those women go to jail? Why don't those women lose their jobs and their careers and their finances the same way the men do off of the lie? You see what I'm saying? So that's the tricky part, man. That's the part that it kind of always baffles me, man, where it's just like, we do a good job tearing people down, but we don't do a good job apologizing when the truth comes to light, when it finds out that these people are innocent. There'll be smear campaigns and, oh, he's a bad person. Oh, such and such, he lost his deal towards it. We do that all the time. And then lo and behold, a person will be innocent. There's not as much emphasis on clearing that person's name and just saying, hey, we got it wrong. It's scary out here being a man, a successful man at that as well, too. It's difficult out here, man. So I feel him. Ninja, I feel you, bro. Like, shit. I feel you, bro. There's some circumstances, man, better safe than sorry. That's what I usually say, man. Better safe than sorry. And I'm now aware now, like, some of the defense mechanisms I have in place, man. Like, I'm like, hey, man, we have our phones. Fellas, if you ever feel that you're in a situation where a female's trying to set you up, let somebody know, man. Hey, I'm about to go link with yo. Hey, man, I got my phone on me. Hey, man, this is her name. This is her Instagram, whatever the case is. That way, it's a defense, hopefully. Whereas if she has ill intentions towards you, whatever the case is, you can clear your name a little bit easier than some of these men that we've seen have not been able to clear their names, right? Innocent men. Again, I'm not saying all men are innocent in some situations. There are indeed some situations where men have indeed been creeps. and have done things that are just inappropriate to women, and I'm never going to condone that. But we need to have just as much justice for the men that are innocent. When the dust settles and the noise goes down and the headlines start, going away for a little bit, whatever the case is, we need to be just as enthusiastic with the apologies as we were with the slander, is basically what I'm saying. That's my take, man. Of course, I want to hear yours. What do you guys think, man? Why do we do that? Why don't we hold these women more accountable? It always seems in some situations that a lot of these women just go scot-free. Whoops, sorry, I lied. And you never hear any consequences that they receive. Why is that? Fellas, man, I know, just speaking as a man, of course, that's a scary situation, man. I see a lot of these stories with a lot of these dudes, man, and I just think like, damn, that could be me, man. That could be any of us. Falsely accused of horrific, accusations. That could be any of us, man. Again, especially a man that is of some value, that has a lot to lose, Be mindful of these things, fellas. Just don't be out here and, especially those of us who are, are prone to dating apps and this, that, and the other, linking up with strangers, this, that, and the other. Screen people, man. I'll say that for sure. Screen the people, both men and women. Screen the people that you're interacting with, especially the strangers online. If you've come to the point, man, all right, I met this girl online or I met this girl on a dating app, you need to do a thorough background as to who this person is, what's her character like. Don't just go off of what she looks like, fellas. I know we're guilty of that a lot of the times. We'll see, oh, she's popping on IG, bro. What? You see this picture? Yeah, man, I had to link up with her. I had to slide into DMs. But what's her mental on, bro? What are her intentions, bro? Does she really like you? We've heard so many situations of girls setting dudes up, going on a date, and then when you pull up to the date, there's other men on the date waiting to, whatever the case is. They maybe kind of scoped you out, see how you live your lifestyle, maybe what you drive, what you wear, what you flaunt, whatever the case is. Be mindful of all of that, man. A lot of these women online, man, you got to do your proper screenings, bro. We can't still be falling for the trap of, oh, man, she was just fine, bro. Dime piece, bro. I had to, bro. Nah, bro. You have too much to lose, fellas. So be mindful of that, man. I think there's a lot of things, let this be a lesson to all of us, of course. Shout out to Ninja, of course, as well, too. As I said, I feel you, bro. And you're a married man as well, too. If you're a married man, of course, you definitely don't want no problems. But even as a single man, I don't want no problems. This Me Too movement and, blah, 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 this, that, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, this, that, and the other. It's just like, man, there's so many good men that we've seen, for the most part, or just men in general that have gone through these times, man, and it wasn't good. Nothing really good came from it, man. Some dudes are able to recover, some dudes are not. Keep that in mind, fellas, especially if you are on the come up or already established and have way more to lose, whether that be your integrity, whether that be your career, whether that be your finances, whatever the case is, your, whatever it may be, man. Protect that, man, because all these women, every single woman doesn't have the best intentions for you. Those are my thoughts. Of course, I'd like to hear yours down in the comment section. I will catch you on the next one.